Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike, and thanks for jumping on here with me this morning. We're having a conversation this week about the top 5 financial priorities for realtors. And the reason is because our financial lives might look different than other people, our friends and our family that have real jobs. Well, their financial life could be much different than ours, and our priorities could be different. We might have the same concerns, but in different order of priority. So we started this off yesterday with just outlining what the 5 priorities are in order of priority. And this is what I've learned throughout my career. I wish somebody had just set me down 35 years ago and told me this. It would have saved me a big learning curve. But here's what I have learned. Number 1, the highest priority is creating a 6-month cushion of cash reserves. What's it cost you to operate your home? You need 6 months of that in the bank. And when I say in the bank, I don't care about your rate of return. It can be 0%. This isn't investing. This is not investing. This is mattress money. You're taking 6 months of living expenses and putting it in a savings account that's federally insured that you can access. Hopefully you never will need to, but if you have an emergency, if you have a need, it's there. It changes our disposition each day. It lessens the stress and anxiety that we feel as independent contractors. It's my biggest encouragement to you. We discussed this yesterday, right? Coming in at number 2, taxes. Number 3, insurance. Number 4, debt. And number 5, and yes, it is last for a reason of the 5 priorities, investing. Yesterday we had a conversation about the importance of 6 months cash reserves before you do anything else. Today I want to talk to you about 2 different areas. I first want to talk to you about taxes. Even though nobody likes the conversation, we've got to get it out of the way. It's part of life. And then I'm going to skip number 3, insurance, and hold that for tomorrow because that's a conversation all to itself. And I'm going to cover instead debt and debt reduction today and where that fits into the financial plan for realtors. So first on taxes, it's the most unpleasant part. Let's just get it out of the way. Here's what I've learned. I'll mess around with a lot of people. There's 2 people I won't mess around with on this planet. The Georgia Real Estate Commission, I will not mess around with them. You will find me to get ultra conservative when it comes to that because they have the ability to take away our ability to make a living very quickly. Your license is suspended. Don't mess around with them. The other group of people I don't mess around with is the IRS. I'm not real edgy on my taxes. I'm pretty conservative. I probably pay taxes that I could probably get away with not paying, but I don't want to have to get away with anything with the IRS. And here's why. And this is my encouragement to you. Folks, they just simply have too much power. If they think you owe them something, they can go take it and then you have to go through the process of trying to get it back. Basically, you'll have to sue your government. And trust me, they have more money and more attorneys than you'll be able to afford. They have too much power. There's not enough due process there. It's not a Law and Order TV show. They just take what they want. They have the ability, the power to make life miserable for you. Now today, on this part of the conversation, I want to focus today on a group of you very specifically. Some of you haven't paid your taxes. Some of us haven't filed our tax returns. Okay, if you fall into one of those 2 categories, here's what I want you to do. I want you to come see me. We'll sit down, we'll close the doors in my office, we'll have a very private conversation. It won't go outside of my office. And you have got to tuck your pride away and come talk to me about this. I can help you. If you fall into one of both of those categories, see me as soon as possible. I can help you with this. Here's the thing. Not paying your taxes is not a felony. It's not a crime. They're not going to put you in jail over that. They're not. If they put you in jail, you'll never be able to pay them, and they want your money. Not filing your tax returns. Those are two entirely separate issues. One issue is, I didn't pay my taxes. I owe taxes. I haven't been able to pay them yet. That's okay. We can talk about that, and I can show you how to navigate through that. Not filing your tax returns, that's a crime, and you can go to jail for that. That's called tax evasion. That's an entirely different thing than not paying. If you fall into a category of folks that haven't filed your tax returns, you and I need to talk ASAP. And we can get you back on the right road with these folks. We can take the ultra serious thing of tax evasion off the table very quickly. But Mike, if I file, I won't have the ability to pay the taxes that I owe for those past years. Don't worry about that right now. That's an entirely separate issue, and that's manageable. What is not manageable is the felony of evading by not filing the returns. Come see me, I can help on this. I know it's stressful, and for some of you, it's just the paying my quarterly tax estimates that's really hard. And I know, and that's why people with real jobs, they have withholding taxes and they never see the money. Then they don't fall into the temptation of spending money that's not really theirs to spend. If it would be helpful for you, for us to withhold and hold for you a certain amount from each closing, we can arrange that. Come talk to me. I'd be glad to set that up for you. I know that's not a fun topic, but I'm worried for those of you that aren't paying, but I'm really worried for those of you that haven't filed, and I want to help you. And for those of you that just aren't really good about holding out the money on your own, I help you too. I want to skip the third priority, which is insurance, and we'll talk about that tomorrow, because insurance is a complex thing, and everybody's living a different life. And some of you are going to need a little bit more convincing on this issue. So we're going to hold that for Wednesday's conversation. I want to touch on debt today. And here's the thing. Debt is number 4 out of number 5 on my priority list for a reason. But it still ranks ahead of investing. Notice that I've got investing down at number 5. And some of you don't agree with that. That's okay. You're wrong. Investing is important. I put it in the top 5. It's just these other things have to be done first. If you get these priorities out of order, you're going to suffer. It's going to cause you pain. And I'm here to try to help you through that. You can't get the priorities out of order. You have got to have the 6 months cash reserves before you consider anything else. Yes, even the IRS. Don't tell them I said that. Number 2, you've got to get square with the IRS. Okay? Before you can start investing, you've got to be adequately insured, and I think you have to start tackling some of this debt before you can ever start investing. Is investing important? Yeah, it is, and we'll get to that on Thursday, but it's at number 5 for a pretty damn good reason. When it comes to debt, there's a very important concept to know. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Good debt would be your home mortgage. Good debt is debt that you accrue on an asset that appreciates in value. Your home would be a good example of that. When we get to investing in rental properties can be a very good form of debt. I have no problem with that debt at all. Bad debt, car loans. If you need a loan to buy your car, you're simply driving a car you can't afford. Ouch. You don't like that, do you? It's true. If you can't pay off your credit card debt each month down to a 0 balance, you are living a lifestyle that you cannot afford. If you are financing other things, Student loans. You are going to a school you simply can't afford. You cannot like this. You can be frustrated by it, but it's simply true. We need to adjust our lifestyle. This kind of consumer debt, this is going to keep you buried under the line. You're never going to be able to get ahead. The debt's going to swamp you. You're living a lifestyle that you can't afford. Adjust the lifestyle. The good debt, that's debt on appreciating items. Notice your car doesn't go up in value every month. Your home does. Your rental properties do. All that shit you bought on your credit card isn't going up in value every month, right? We've got to cut this out. Folks, until we adjust our spending habits, we're never going to be able to create abundance in our life. And controlling our spending habits just simply comes down to this: living a lifestyle that I can afford. If you want to live a bigger lifestyle, then get more into your real estate business and make more income. And then it can make sense. Until then, you need to drive a car that you don't have to finance. I know, this isn't a feel-good conversation. Taxes and debt, shit. Wouldn't blame you if you didn't call in tomorrow. Get rid of your bad debt. Create the good debt. Does it make sense? Good. Now, if you'll join me tomorrow, we're going to dive into insurance, and I'm going to talk about the 3 different types of insurance, who they apply to, and why it's more important, why it's so important to you. And for those of you that don't agree with me about insurance, that's fine. Dial in and listen anyhow. At least know what you're talking about when you form opinions that you don't think something's valuable. Have an educated take on it. And where you think I'm wrong, come tell me. I'd love to have the conversation. For right now, let's get out there and let's make it happen for ourselves today.